Hi, everyone. Great to be here at VeeamON 2025. It's awesome to come here and talk to you about being cybersecure. And I have great company here. Lindsay, how are you?
I'm excellent. Thanks, Javier. How are you?
Good. I'm always happy to chat about being cybersecure and software and all the good stuff that we do. So I think we have a good session here for a very large audience. I don't know if you heard this, Lindsay. I'm hearing that thousands of people registered to this. Probably we have over 1,000 people watching right now.
Well, don't make me nervous.
No, I mean,
Thousands of
it's
people.
here between friends. It's just with
I love
us. So what we're going to do here is to tell you about being cybersecure. You know that we've been promoting and talking about and offering to our customers for about a year, or actually over a year now, being cybersecure. I'll start with a few statistics and tell you all about the program, right? We will cover, between Lindsay and I, will cover every single item on the scope of a being cybersecure program. No, of course, the benefits. And then we're going to end with a fun little exercise so you can see, the value of these services. So let's get started. I have a stat for you. Actually, before the stat, I forgot to introduce ourselves, Lindsay. Lindsay, you want to take a moment just to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, hi, everyone. Lindsay Henderson. I'm the Senior Director of Customer Success at Codeware by Veeam. Been with Codeware for 5 years and now been with Veeam for a year and
It's a year.
loving it. It's been a year. It's actually today.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
So I guess last year VeeamON was in June, so Over was already part of Veeam during
Yeah.
VeeamON, but now it's exactly a year, so that's great.
Yeah.
And on my side, I senior director of product marketing. I cover all things around security for Veeam. My background is on application security, open source security. So always happy to chat on about security items. And of course, now that we talk a lot more about the ransomware, everything that has to do about ransomware. Before that, another thing that we're promoting and we're talking about this VeeamON is the latest ransomware trends report, right? I had the opportunity to be part of the whole project, from the survey, putting together the survey, to going through the full analysis of all the data. Very, very interesting. We have other sessions to talk about that, but I narrow a couple of stats. Actually, I'll give you I'm going to the slide, the stat that I'm showing you right now on the screen. It's actually, I can tell you that it does not going to appear on the report, right? Because we have so much data. But I actually like this. When we went and asked more than 900 respondents from all over the world, from companies from all sizes, we asked them about their outages. 50% of them now are due to cyber attacks. So not because someone deleted something or because the cloud went down or a server. 50% of the time, it's because of a cyber attack. And number two is way down, maybe like 20% on some of the other examples that I provided. That tells you, that it's a serious situation, right? We as part of the ransomware trends report, we went and asked if your organization suffered a ransomware attack over the last 12 months, which means over all 2024. And now it's 69% of organizations suffer a ransomware attack. Compared with the previous year, it was 75. So good news there. Good to know that. And it's thanks to all the security measures and products and offerings like what we're going to talk about today that help us reduce that. And then just one more stat is this is actually not from the ransomware trends report, but from those very interesting quarterly reports that Codeware produces. If you haven't had a chance, go to Cover website and look at the blog post every quarter. We're also adding them to the Veeam blogs as well now. But this chart just tells you that it's across all types of companies, small, medium, large. There's another chart that looks just like, well, actually more diverse like this for industries, right? It's across all industries. Really, the cyber criminals go after where they have an opportunity, they go and attack, right? It's not about going after a specific company or industry. So, these are real numbers. Obviously a serious situation that we see in today's world, right? With all this, everything is digital assets, and there's more opportunities to suffer a ransomware attack. So we talk about the Veeam data platform. We talk about all the features that we offer, and if you see on the blocks on the left and the right, we do the best, right? We are the best at doing those great backups and the recovery and the fast recovery and the clean rooms and making sure that the recovery, it's a clean recovery. Data portability within Veeam data platform, obviously a great strength there is you can work on pretty much any workload, what you see there on the different clouds and the different virtualizations. And then you can also integrate with other tools, right? What you see at the bottom of the screen there in terms of sending data or exchanging data with security tooling, for example, what comes from Veeam. But one area that we've been adding a lot, especially from the last few releases, it's the security features, right? And that's what makes Veeam Data Platform a full end-to-end threat detection, ransomware protection, and recovery. We'll have an opportunity to talk more about these features. We're going to talk about recon scanners in just a second, but that's the point I want to make here. Not only we do a great job for your data protection in terms of backups and recovery, but we also continue to add features to protect your data and be proactive and do it the right way. So having said that, it can get the deployment pretty, we'll just say straightforward, right? You have your backup servers, you install your Veeam data platform. You want to install your backups or you want to deploy your backup repositories somewhere else, right? You don't want them in the same place. I know some deployments happen everything in the same server, right? But no, you want to do it in a separate domain. And then of course you want to you want to have a offline or an immutable backup as well. That sounds pretty simple, pretty straightforward, right? Kind of 3 items for your data. But this can get a bit more complicated than that, right? As you can see on the diagram here, you can be protecting VMs, right? You can be protecting just files. You can be protecting just unstructured data. You can have multiple clean rooms. You can have backups offline. You can have backups on the different cloud, public cloud infrastructure. You can back up to tape, right? If you want. And then I'm not just even talking about the numbers here, right? Because it could be 100 VMs or it could be 1,000 VMs. Not to mention containers, right? And all of this stuff, it can get really, really, really complicated really quickly, right? So from that, we say, well, I think we can help our customers with services. I think we can help them with prevention. And that's what came to being cybersecure. The idea here to provide, an elite program services for pre-incident, during an incident, and post an incident. And of course, with the corporate team, this became a full offering, right? During the incident response that Lindsay is going to tell you in just a minute. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to describe the scope of this program, right? Being cybersecure. I'm going to start with the pre-incident. Then we'll cover during incident and then finally post-incident. here's the first part. And as you can expect from a a program looking to support our accounts, our customers, we schedule an onboarding session. We have a couple of versions of the onboarding session. We have one about the product, the platform, how to contact technical support, and so on. This is driven by ECSM, Enterprise Customer Success Manager, and then we also have one with Lindsay. Is that with you, Lindsay? The corporate incident response. It could be anyone, right?
Oh yeah,
anyone in your team. And we cover the pieces of how to contact software. I mean, as you can imagine, when you're in the middle of an attack, you have to take some specific measures. Maybe not using your corporate email, things like that, right? And we go through all those details. The next piece, very interesting, and I recently ran another survey to talk about what our customers or potential customers are interested on. And number one and number two was the architectural design. So going back to that diagram that you saw earlier, it can get very complicated, right? Some of our customers say, well, you are the experts. Help me with the best practices. Help me properly design all my backup environments, how we're going to be doing the recovery. What are the best practices? Help me with the zero trust principles, which we have within the platform, but also you can apply as part of your design, right? Segmentation and all that good stuff. So we have our Veeam architects basically doing one-on-one sessions with our customers, getting the information about your environments, and then propose a design. Based on that design, we work with Veeam accredited service partners to do the implementation for our customers. So implementation of those designs. You might be asking, well, I'm already a customer. Well, that design could be part of a review, right? Review of the architecture and come up with some recommendations, and then see if something is to be implemented or not, or maybe modify or reconfigure on the environment. So architectural design, implementation of services. Then the next piece, it's very interesting. Another favorite of our customers, and it's what we call the quarterly security assessment checks. And this is basically going through a full checklist of security recommendations. Things from basic permissions checks to where the storage, where's your data, where's going to be storage, how you're encrypting your data, how are you protecting your data, going through some of those best practices, going to some of the zero trust principles, going through some of the secure by design principles. And then our team goes with our customers on going through that review, tracking that, and if, obviously not every recommendation is mandatory. Some of them could be, just good to have, nice to have. If all the mandatory recommendations are met, and it doesn't have to happen in one day, right? And we work with our customers to kind of achieve that level of compliant with these recommendations. Then you're cyber secure. At least you are following the best practices. Many of our customers are really looking forward to see these quarterly reviews, and this is also information that they use internally for their own audits, and say, look, I'm doing the right things here. I'm going to go a little bit quick because I feel like I might be running out of time here, checking on the clock, but support, right? Some of you are familiar with Veeam offering as a premier support. It's a support where we offer 30 minutes response time and service level agreements. We dedicate a support account manager. We prioritize the support calls, the support cases. These are addressed by senior support engineers. We've made this premier support part of Veeam Cybersecure. So you get it as part of Veeam Cybersecure, all the the best technical support for your Veeam data platform implementation. And then to finalize the pre-incident, everything I've been talking about, of course, is before you are under a kind of a cyber incident, cyber attack. This is a great piece by our corporate team, which is, I like the term, Lindsay, of not during wartime, but during peace times, right?
Yeah.
Not when you're under an attack, but when there's a time, you have access to our expertise and be able to have kind of one-on-one sessions to cover all these topics that you see on the slide, right, on the bullet points. Very, very interesting sessions. Some of them targeted also for executives, right? Not everything is on the technical details of the different indicators of compromise or security configurations. It could be some of the sessions also for executives, for CFOs, understanding the whole economy and the crypto currency payment and so on. Just want to highlight one last thing here on the learning and development sessions, and that's the quarterly adversary tactics, techniques, and procedures, the TTP analysis sessions. This is also a popular session here, very, very interesting. A summary of all the cases during the quarter, during the past 3 months, and every quarter. The team basically summarizes all of that information. Understand, identify these TTPs across all the different real life cases that the corporate team oversees over 3 months. And I mean, we're talking about now hundreds of cases. And we go back to our customers to tell them what's going on, right? What's happening over the last few months with real life cases, the threat actors, the techniques used, and so on. So very, very interesting, highly recommended to everyone. And that's part of our Veeam cybersecurity program. We're also including that as part of the TAM services, the technical account manager services. So Lindsay, sorry for the long introduction, but now that all of this happened like pre-incidents, right?
Yeah.
When a customer now is in the middle of well, first of all, we're offering this incident response retainer, and that's exactly to help our customers when they're in the middle of a ransomware attack. Can you take it from here, please?
Yeah, thanks, Javier. No, absolutely. I mean, people sometimes say, well, why would I need CodeWare if I have Veeam and I have this whole secure setup? I mean, threat actors are constantly changing. They are constantly trying to get into businesses, right? So, you need something like Veeam Cybersecure to ensure that your infrastructure is all set up with best practices across large organizations. You may be acquiring an organization. There's a lot of different things that can happen, unfortunately, as you're going through. And of course, we are not, we're coming in when there is an incident, but our job is to help our clients determine which recovery options are the best for them, right? So that could be obviously backing up via their Veeam infrastructure. It might be recreating data, or it may have to be that they have to negotiate and actually get a decryptor. But that's where CodeWare comes in. So with the CodeWare retainer, in addition to that one-on-one expert-led learning and development on the previous slide, the clients are going to receive a 15-minute response SLA to our incident response service, and that's available 24/7, 365, and it guarantees virtually immediate access to expert negotiators on our team. Javier, in a ransomware crisis, every single decision carries financial, operational, and reputational consequence, right? So retaining a firm like CodeWare, having us on your side with a deep specialization in just ransomware negotiation, threat actor profiling, payment execution, and recovery support is going to deliver a measurable ROI through faster decisions, lower costs, and or stronger outcomes.
Oh, well said.
Yeah, it's true. I'm happy about it. I mean, the thing to note too is people hear CodeWare ransomware negotiation. I mean, our core premise is avoid paying when you can, right? So CodeWare's foundational approach is to help clients avoid paying ransoms whenever possible. In Q4 2024, only 25% of CodeWare supported victims paid a ransom. Like, that's huge, right? think about who's coming to us, right?
That-
These are our clients that are probably looking to think that they have to pay, and only 25% did. It's the lowest rate that we have on record, and we're so proud.
Right.
But it really, thank you, and it really reflects, the value of expert negotiation, that ransomware family analysis that we do, and those early recovery forecasting that is empowering our clients to walk away confidently knowing that they made a data-driven decision, not an emotional one. It's an emotional time for people, right? So let's get to walking through just what Codeware's actual participation during an incident looks like. The first thing we're going to do is an assessment, right? At the start of the engagement, we want to understand the client's impact upfront, and we're going to cross-reference that ransom note, the malware, and the threat, and bring our threat intel to identify the threat actor, right? Our threat intel is going to help the client decide if contacting the threat actor even makes sense. So not all threat actors are worth engaging with, right? Some deliver on our promise, others ghost or re-extort. We are going to use our historical data to help guide the decision. This can be a data-driven decision, right? So in addition to the threat intel, we have our proprietary incident response tool, Recon Scanner, which you had mentioned before. That is very unique to Codeware. Recon Scanner assesses the file recoverability before pay. This is huge, right? At Codeware, we found that file level corruption is one of the biggest reasons companies are not able to recover their data. So basically what happens, Javier, is if you don't know, the data can become corrupt during the encryption process, right? For a variety of different reasons.
But when they disconnect the stuff, they correct.
Connect. Some of these threat actors are terrible at writing malware, or they mess with it and it corrupts the data. If data is not encrypted properly, it's not going to decrypt. And the sad thing is that there are companies out there that don't have Recon Scanner that are going to think that their only recoverability option is paying for a decryption key. They get the decryption key, they go to run it, and it doesn't work. And it's not that the decryption key didn't work or was a bad decryption key. It's their data was corrupt. With Recon Scanner, we can tell clients that they need to know if it's a viable recovery, right? What am I going to get back if I pay that? So we can help them forecast it, which is so cool.
If I can interrupt for like a few seconds, this is the technology, Recon Scanner, that we brought from Codeware for this incident response to the Veeam Data Platform. Now, on Veeam Data Platform, it's used more for proactive measures, right? So checking, identifying suspicious activity, and obviously not, hopefully we never go and review encryptions and things like that. So just wanted to separate same technology, use different one as proactive measure for Veeam Data Platform, and then here as part of the incident response. Should we move to negotiation?
Yeah, let's do it. So the thing about negotiation is payment is not the only reason to negotiate, right? So you might need to sell for time while you recover via other means like your secure backups. You might need information on if there was data exfiltration. But when payment does become unavoidable, Codeware is going to manage the full negotiation cycle, life cycle from initial engagement, leverage analysis to securing crypto payment, documentation, and compliance running in our negotiations. So our negotiators routinely are achieving about 30 to 70% reductions in ransomware demand, which is phenomenal. And then marry that up with the fact that only 25% of our clients are paying, right?
That's right.
But we're still engaging, and we're engaging for things like information. So let's get into SUD, if required, right?
If needed,
if needed. And we like to see this, right? Because if payment is necessary, Codeware's going to handle everything for you, right? This includes sanction screenings, regulatory documentation, the cryptocurrency logistics, and transaction execution. So getting it over to the front actor, right? We ensure full adherence to global compliance standards, which really eliminates that operational and legal burden on our clients and reducing that reputational risk, right? So the result is that if payment is needed, Codeware is going to execute quickly, securely, and defensively for our clients.
That's great, and obviously secure there. I would love to take a look at those crypto wallets, but no access to that.
Nope. Keep it under lock and key. So then, right now, we have our our key. We've had to pay for it. How do we actually decrypt? Clover's going to assist with that. So we maintain a 98% success rate in acquiring working decryptors when engaged. But also, it gets even better, Javier, because, the last thing you want is you now have this newly contained, a system that you're trying to get your data back and recover from. You don't want to run a threat actor tool on that system, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to run Clover's proprietary tool called UniDecrypt. So we extract those keys out of that threat actor decryptor, we put it into ours, and we're going to ensure faster, safer, more complete data recovery. Particularly when a threat actor's tool is like buggy, limited, or unreliable. There's no logging and there's no technical support.
Yeah. Can I just add that we have some like world-class experts on decryption?
We do.
Like, unbelievable. Yeah.
We do. And that's the coolest thing. I mean, that's who's building these tools and that's who's supporting the clients through decryption. Are experts in malware, ransomware, and recovery.
Yeah.
So.
Let me walk really quickly because I know we run out of time. The third piece on the Veeam cybersecurity offering is this ransomware warranty. And, we feel very good about our technology, our Veeam data platform, our backups. If you follow the security assessment checks, if you do your backups, if you do your offline immutable backups, we feel really good that you can recover from there. But if there's a case where the ransomware attack affected that, you are covered with up to $5 million on a warranty. In the next 2 minutes, we're going to go through a quick exercise, an example, just to kind of reinforce everything that we just discussed. And, we would love to have every single customer with Veeam Cybersecure and following all these best practices, right? So checking all the boxes. And, I use just a sample random use case for that. I don't know where that name came from. Well, I guess people about my age know where that name of a company name came from. But you do your backup, obviously best practices. You test your recovery. You do your security assessment checks, checking all the boxes, right? Even separate to Veeam Cybersecure. Just to clarify, separate to Veeam Cybersecure. Your security team probably is doing audits, internal, external. They're doing tabletop exercises. They have a disaster recovery plan and an incident response plan. So all good, right? Well, sometimes things happen, right? Sometimes it just takes a link on a phishing email to get you compromised, right? And it could be the case where you go on and organization identifies. In this case, this organization identifies finds a ransom note, and the ransom note talks about exfiltration, right? Stealing your data and saying that they're going to make it public if you don't pay the ransom, or potentially also some encryption of that data. So what will you do? Well, you call Copware. I was going to say Lindsay. You call Copware, and we'll get you started, right? With Recon Scanner, getting the assessment, so we know what's going to be next, right? All of a sudden, it didn't move. Here it is. So you have to do all your analysis. Hopefully you have all your clean backups ready to go for recovery. And all you have to check is, in terms of timing, if you have enough time to recover everything, how much, evaluate that. Or you can also say, well, I can rebuild. I've been joining some of these very successful events, Veeam sessions that we're doing, the Inner Circle. I highly recommend it if you can join in many cities around the world. We're doing those Inner Circle events, and we talk about ransomware and data resilience and so on. And we hear from CISOs saying, well, in many cases, we just rebuild, right? We can afford, kind of lose some of the data. But the impact, and Lindsay, you mentioned a little bit about this earlier. We want to provide you with all the information so you can, as a customer in the middle of a situation like this, make a decision, an informed decision, right? And it could be related to, if it's healthcare, for example, it could be a life and safety impact, right, of decision. Obviously, operational, financial, stopping the operation of your organization. And talking about the keys, right? If you have to pay, well, is that can you really trust the threat actor? Do you have the intelligence to know the information from those threat actors to believe that we can make that decision. And that's the type of information that you see that you get from Cover. So just moving quickly here, this is a quick summary. I don't know if you want to comment on this, Lindsay. I think we covered most of this, but this is the information that you will get from the team, right?
I mean, listen, I think we summarized it at the end of the day on one of the worst days of your professional career.
Right.
You want to know you have the technology and the data-backed expertise in order to reduce the impact of that event to the greatest degree. You're getting that with VCF and Cover by Veeam, right? We're going to support those clients all the way through it, and all things ransomware negotiation, we've got their back.
Well said. So to finalize, this is the program being cybersecure before, during, and after the incident. Great value added with the architectural design, with the quarterly checks, obviously with the incident response retainer, and then the warranty and all the documentation. We didn't even talk about the documentation, but our friends from Cover, they know all about working with cyber insurance companies and all of that.
We do. We've got your back.
I think this was our first webinar, Lindsay. A pleasure to do this with you. I work with you all the time, but doing a webinar, and really happy to be here at VeeamON. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.